Alright everyone, the heist is going down at 6 PM tonight. Wait, what time? 6 PM tonight. What? 6 PM? 7 PM? Yeah, sure. Anyway, after we steal the diamonds, make sure you invest with them wisely. This could gather us a lot of interest.
Interest my ass?
Excuse me?
Now that's comedy.
Well, I think most of you saw this coming. A video on Persona 5. Yes, my first ever Persona game, which was released in 2017 on the PS3 and PS4. The game that took so many years to make to shake off those similar looking visuals from the previous ones. And oh boy, does this game look good. Now, unlike before, I actually have a physical copy of the game. Are you happy now, Atlas? So let's go right on in. Oh, the color is red, not blue or yellow. That's nice. Why is it so stylish? We get the usual preamble saying this game is an original story, yada yada. But this time we can reject the contract.
I see.
It kicked me back to the title screen.
You for real?
So we start out in Vegas, where it seems like our main protagonist is a thief. And just look at how proud he is. His job seems to be the distraction for the guards, while our totally mysterious buddies sneak away. I'm a distraction! And one thing you will notice straight away about this game is that there sure is a lot of jumping. We then meet some guards and start a battle, but I'll get into these mechanics a little later on. We easily beat them and have to sneak our way through the casino to find the exit.
What a show off.
But we are then surrounded and caught by the police, who give us a nice bump on the noggin. And oh my, this game is so much more intense than the previous ones. We meet the interrogator, who forces us to sign a timeshare plan, and of course we give our name, Zace Ram. Oh wait, it's westernized now.
Wait, what?
We then get interviewed by a prosecutor who asks us way too many questions. But we then start to hear a mysterious voice.
This is truly an unjust game.
Oh jeez, thanks for telling me straight up that this game is gonna mess with me. She then tells us to start from the beginning of the story, which of course involves a train shot. It's always trains. And then we get another flashback, inside this flashback.
A what now?
Which shows us saving a lady from this bald dude.
Damn brat! I'll sue!
Well, this ain't gonna be pretty for us. After arriving at the station, we walk onto the street, only to see a weird app on our phone.
Tomorrow's task is soon.
Oh man, I knew I shouldn't have had that mac and cheese yesterday.
Jeez.
Following our little trip, we then arrive in our new hometown, where we go to find the house we will be staying in for the rest of the year. Why can't I find the place? After 3 hours, we find the place, which is a coffee shop run by our new daddy Sojiro.
A what now?
He takes us upstairs to show us our new room.
This is your room.
Yeah, sure, thanks buddy. After some tidying up, we go to sleep, and somehow awake, back in jail. Oh man, not again. But don't worry, this is the new velvet room. Yes, first it was an elevator, then a limo, and now this. Run by the man with the big nose, Igor. But instead of one assistant, this time it's these lovely 2 people.
Know your place, inmate!
He tells us the usual, that this is our destiny, you need personas to win, the game is unfair, mac and cheese is bad for your health, and so on. We then wake up and oh boy, it's time for our first day of school. Well, not really, since everyone is scared of us, and as such, Daddy Sojiro,
M'lady.
has to escort us to school since everyone is worried that we will assault someone again. Because apparently, pushing someone away from their crime screws over your entire life since he was some high-up politician. And this is such a big theme for the game. Every single person you meet has this impression of you, that you are a criminal. And they don't really look at the circumstances of what happened that night. Anyway, we meet the principal and our teacher, Miss Kawakami. A totally normal teacher. No secret life or anything, just really hates her job.
Jeez.
And well, that is all for now. We go back tomorrow for our first official day. But all is not well in Persona 5 land, because there seem to be these crazy accidents of late, where a person just shuts off entirely. But I'm sure that this won't affect the plot of the game at all. So the deal for us to live here, while Daddy Sojiro goes out pimping, we get to sleep in his shop. I guess it isn't all too bad. I mean, he comes back in the morning to give us breakfast. Curry for breakfast? Where's my frickin' mac and cheese? That's it, I'm outta here. God dang kids these days. And so begins the first day of school. Well, not really, because we got a first experience. Authentic Japanese life. That's right, time to spend 2 hours lost in the train station. Why is this so hard?
Oh yeah?
Man, this sure is a weird crossover. So after we leave the train, it starts to rain, and we have to hide out under the shelter where we see this girl getting picked up by the square-jawed PE teacher from our school.
Good morning.
Damn it! Screw that pervy teacher.
And then here's the old Persona best male friend, Ryuji.
For real?
And as such, starts a new trend in this game, where anytime you meet a friend, the screen trips out on us and takes us back to say, because dang it, criminals aren't meant to have any friends. Well, good thing Ryuji is a bad, bad boy. I mean, look at how much he swears.
For real? For real? It's for real.
Really?
That son of a bitch!
So we walk to school with him. But oh no, seems like that app from earlier did something to us and we arrive in medieval times, with a castle standing in place of the school. Naturally, we barge right in and find that we ain't in Kansas no more. I wonder how many viewers will get that reference. But it seems like we are intruders and get thrown in, you guessed it, jail again.
Say what?
We learn that this castle seems to be ruled by a creepy looking version of that square-jawed PE teacher who has horrible fashion sense. And I guess, well, he hates our guts. Yes, hates me of all people. And he sends his guard thingos to kill us. Okay.
This is truly an unjust game.
Yes, it is. Please help me. Very well, then. I will give you a Persona. We beat his henchmen with our smooth-looking persona, which is a manifestation of our heart, by the way.
Damn you! This is effing nuts!
So we lock Kamoshida in and try to find a way out. But instead, we find this thing. I think he's a cat.
Don't call me a cat!
Yeah, okay, buddy. Whatever you say.
A talking cat? That's unacceptable.
Whoa, jeez, calm down. I'm telling you, he really did talk.
Unacceptable.
He says he knows how to escape, so we should free him so he can help us out. And we go and do that. By which I mean we run off and escape and leave the cat all alone. Yeah. We arrive back in the real world, but somehow have missed a half day of school. This of course annoys the staff, including old Squarejaw. It seems that his creepier self is different to the real him, so he doesn't know about that earlier encounter. And after getting lost in this game yet again, we go to our class with our totally normal average teacher who hates her job. Boy, this sure seems like a nice school. So Miss Kawakami tells us to stay out of trouble and avoid that Ryuji kid, cause he's got a mean reputation.
And you haven't dyed your hair back to black either.
Wait, that's dyed hair? Holy moly! You sure are bad to the bone.
For real?
But seriously, these two probably have the best friend interactions out of all the previous Persona games for me, as Ryuji is the only one who talks to you and sees through the rumors. Plus, well, everyone at school hates both of your guts. And I gotta say, he's probably one of my all-time favorite characters in all of Persona.
Wait, what?
Back at school the next day, Ryuji wants us to try and go back into the castle again, and the steps for doing so involve saying these keywords.
Kamoshida, Shujin Academy, Pervert, Castle, mac and cheese.
Those words relate to the person in question, and we go back to the other world with our snazzy new outfit.
You like it?
We meet Morgana again, who will help us for some unknown reason. Now Ryuji wanted us to come back here to find some students who were being held captive that he noticed briefly last time. And oh boy. So the thing with Kamoshida is that he is scum. A former Olympic medalist who used his privilege to coach the volleyball team and would assault the students constantly to fill his desires. Hence why he imagines the high school as his castle. He is able to do whatever he wants at school since the principal loves all the wins he brings home. The students here, however, aren't real. This is all in Kamoshida's head, but it shows how he actually treats the students in the real world. And oh man, I never wanted to defeat a villain as badly as him. I think that's one thing Persona 5 did extremely well. The opening boss and themes are so great at setting the entire tone for the whole game. But since we are bumbling students, Kamoshida traps us and starts beating us up. And he reveals that he was the one who actually broke Ryuji's leg on purpose, got away with it, and Ryuji has had to deal with that pain ever since. And holy moly, you will pay. Oh wait, Ryuji seems to have it covered. Yes, in a very Persona-like fashion, he awakens his.
What's up, Persona?
And now we got 3 members to our party. Yeah, I forgot to mention that cat Morgana. He can fight. He has a buff persona. He's also a cat. Yeah. So we win because, oh boy, he's strong. But Kamoshida brings out a fake Anne, that girl from earlier, that he controls. And he is still too strong for us, so we gotta go regroup once again.
I remember changing into this.
Morgana tells us that he also had another use for us and wants to investigate these worlds to find his real body because he honestly believes that he ain't a cat. But well, since he is a cat, we can just leave him. So we then talk to Ryuji and become best friends, and you know what that means.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And as such, it whisks us back to say, trust me, you will see this happen a lot in this game. We then eat some food and tell Ryuji about our plight of being wrongly accused as a criminal. I was arrested for stealing some mac and cheese.
What?
Not so loud.
But just hearing your story makes me angry.
We then cut back to that girl Anne from earlier, who is talking with her best friend Shiho, who is also on the volleyball team with that bleak looking student from earlier. This is the last straw for Ryuji, and he asks us to track down all the volleyball team members to interrogate them, to get them to confess on the horrible things Kamoshida has been doing. We do manage to find that one student and almost get him to talk, but yeah, you know what happens. Kamoshida comes barging in.
It's meaningless. Everybody knows. The principal, our parents, they all know, and they all keep quiet about it.
At our wits' end with no one able to hear our pleas, who should come to our aid? Why, the cat, of course.
The cat's talking?
Yes, this is how Morgana looks like in the real world.
You're a cat! Meow?
But it's no time to be joking around, Ryuji. We gotta listen to the cat.
I am not a cat.
Oh yeah?
And what he tells us becomes the driving force of the game. So by going into a palace, we can access a person's darkest desires. Now what would happen if we erase those desires? There are these treasures in the palace, and if we remove them, the person would lose all of that horrible desire stuff. That being said, they need other desires to even live, and as such, doing this might actually kill Kamoshida. But no complaints here. I've been waiting to take this dude down for a long time. And now this all leads to a boiling point when we overhear Anne, who is being forced into a relationship with Kamoshida, that if she doesn't do things for old Pentagon Jaw, Shiho would lose her starting spot on the team, i.e. blackmail, and sees us and confesses it all, as she is not the girl that everyone sees. She's only doing this relationship thing for her friend, but doesn't know what to do now. And well, it looks like she refuses his demands, and as such, some really horrible things happen to Shiho as a consequence of Kamoshida's lust. This breaks Anne's heart as she feels that she's at fault, and after Ryuji confronts Kamoshida again to the point of almost thrashing him, he straight up says we are getting expelled and that we assaulted him. Now since the school loves him so much, there's nothing we can do. Unless, I hope you are all able to see how amazing this first boss setup was with this game. We now have our time limit being the expulsion getting through with the school board, and in that time we gotta go into his palace and steal his treasure to get him to confess to his crimes since no one else will believe us. Morgana dubs us the Phantom Thieves.
Phantom thieves?
And we go back again to steal his treasure. Anne, however, sneaks in as she wants revenge for what happened to her friend, and will do anything to get back at Kamoshida. But, well...
It's a monster cat!
How rude!
We push her out since we don't want her getting involved, but I'm sure you smart viewer will know she's gonna sneak back in. Morgana then gives us code names to help us out in the dungeons. Joker, Skull, and Mona.
Hey, Mona!
And in we go. Anne, however, who is sneaking in, gets captured by the shadows, and we go in to save her.
Getting this far has been a real pain in my ass. Oh yeah?
While captive, she has to come face to face with how Kamoshida sees her as, and rightfully so. This infuriates her to the point where she awakens her persona, and we beat the crap out of a literal monster on a toilet. Anyway, Kamoshida runs off and we regroup in the real world, where we tell Anne the whole deal.
I really am talking to a cat.
Meow?
And she joins the team as our 4th member.
What a girl. She's captured my heart.
Dude.
This all leads to the final showdown with all Hexagon Jaw. But first, we gotta prep. So the 3 days you have in the real world involve meeting confidants, who after leveling up give you benefits in the dungeon. And I gotta say, you have to do these, since some benefits are so helpful, especially in the late game. Examples of these confidants can be the back alley doctor, who will sell us cheap healing medicine if we let her trial drugs on us. Or we meet the gun shop dude, because apparently buying toy guns in the real world turns them into actual guns in the other world. But after studying our hardest in school, we can do a lot of different activities. Too many to even cover in this one video. But it's things like going to the shops, taking a bath,
Who are you people?
doing laundry, doing pull-ups at home, make coffee with daddy, and so much more. Doing these things level up one of these 5 stats, and higher stats means more confident ranks that are unlocked. Now I know I said Persona 4's overall main cast was my favorite out of the 3, but Persona 5 social links overall are easily the best. Each person is so unique and their mini story is so engaging. It really is in your best interest to at least level up the confident party members you use the most. But make sure you do all this before your dang cat can tell you to go to bed. Yes, the game throws out so many things for you to do, but stops it all with this dang cat. Ugh. Now parallel to this, you have the dungeon crawling, as in the things you gotta do before expulsion. This is the time limit you have, and in those remaining days, you must clear the palace and reach its treasure. And as is tradition, the magic blue door also appears, but unlike the other 2 times, they actually invite you in, and here you can fuse your personas, although it happens a bit more differently than usual. Yeah, Igor is a sadistic little so-and-so. And doing this lets you get stronger personas. Now how do you get a persona? Well, everyone has one, but being a main character, you can acquire more, and all of this is done in the battles, where after knocking down all of the enemies, you hold them up with your weapons. Here you can interrogate them to either give you money, items, or join your team. And let me tell you, just pay attention to this thing in the top left. It gives you hints on their personality, if you want to answer them correctly to recruit them, and if successful, they will join you. If not, you can do an all-out attack. Now to even knock over the enemies, you have to have a type advantage. Thankfully, if you press R1, it will automatically swap out your persona for the one that has that move. And as for the dungeon crawling, it is way more detailed than the previous personas. The dungeons are all vastly unique with differing mechanics, puzzles, and monster types. You can also press a button to hide from the demons, because when their back is turned, you can do a surprise attack that gives you the advantage in battle. And then you have the weapons. Now like I said, these are toys, but here they turn into all manner of deadly stuff, and it really is neat seeing each character get their own weapon, like Morgana getting a Bart Simpson slingshot. These are separate attacks from the normal and special moves that sometimes can stun the enemy depending on the type. And as usual, you have the normal attacks and the special ones that use SP, which only refills with items or exiting the dungeon for the day. And this can be done from the safe rooms, which act as checkpoints. Anyway, finally, once you do all this, you can make your way to the throne room to secure a route to it, meaning you have now completed the dungeon. And then if you're a person who does their assignments early, you should have some free time till the cutoff date. This date is where the game asks you to send a calling card, which lets the palace owner know you're after their treasure, thus making it visible to be stolen. Ryuji gladly does this for us.
For real?
And it freaks out Kamoshida, who sets his palace into overdrive secure mode. This means his treasure is now visible for us to steal, and so we go and do that.
Man, it's huge.
Oh yeah?
Meow?
But of course it ain't that easy, as Kamoshida stops us, which then starts the boss battle. Yeah, that sure is a boss. Now the bosses ain't too hard as the game gives you hints on what to do, just know that when it says the boss is staring at someone or something in particular, make sure you guard that party member on that turn. Anyway, a new mechanic is sending a teammate to do some crazy things off to the side to end the battle while you distract them. And you can choose whoever you want, but obviously not Anne since Kamoshida is so intense on her. Go Ryuji, you can do it! So he done do it. His shadow now is not one to give up. It tries to flee, but Anne isn't having any of that and corners him into giving up. Finally, after all the heartache, he gives up and hands us the treasure, saying he will confess to all of his crimes. We don't have long though, as the palace collapses around us since we got rid of the distorted desires. And back in the real world, all we can do is hope that he confesses. And well, Kamoshida doesn't turn up to school the next day, instead placing himself under suspension. And so we wait and wait and wait until finally, in that magical month of May, an assembly is called where Kamoshida confesses to all his crimes and is arrested. And well, that's our job done. I gotta say, holy moly, I love this game so much. The animation, gameplay are all vast improvements from before, and the character models are probably my favorite looking ones out of any game. The presentation is so stylish, the music absolutely amazing, and with these adorable dorks, it's no wonder this was my favorite game in 2017. If you ever wanted to get into Persona, I would highly suggest this one as a great first game. And so now, people start to take interest in these Phantom Thieves from that calling card, because we claimed that we could change his heart, and it actually worked. Who are these mysterious heroes? And well, we got ourselves a gold Olympic medal, which is what his treasure was in the real world. Naturally, we decide to sell it and spend the winnings on a big buffet. And I gotta say, I love this scene so much. There's just something about Persona and food that's just so wholesome. This is also where we can name our Phantom Thieves, and I chose this one for no particular reason. But anyway, look! Food!
Crap, you're totally right. We only got an hour to eat.
Just 50 minutes left!
Oh man, my heart melts in my mouth.
Seriously? Only meat? Now, where should I start? Cake! So happy!
Hey, calories.
Shut up! Where's our share?
I didn't really know what you'd want.
Beans? Fried bananas, preserved eggs, and some kind of beans. More beans?
Oh, it's like a meaty explosion in my mouth.
This part's cream cheese! Cheese.
Wait a minute. This ending feels familiar. Oh no, I remember all that food talk. No. I'm not getting hungry again. Please, no. Review's over. See ya next time.
Bye!
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Chic.